Good evening. Welcome to the Mind of STEM channel, where you'll get your daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. I'm your host, Leon Jones, and in this segment, I'm going to give you an overview of what agricultural engineering is. Now, I live here in the state of Indiana, and if you want to know about agriculture, the state of Indiana is a place where it thrives because there is a lot of farming that is going on here in the state of Indiana. In fact, Purdue University is one university that teaches agricultural engineering. Now, with all that being said, what is agricultural engineering? Well, agricultural engineering, again, is another engineering discipline, and there are many out there. So, the true definition of agricultural engineering is the engineering of agricultural production and processing. See, agricultural engineering combines the disciplines of mechanical, civil, electrical, food science, and chemical engineering principles with a knowledge of agricultural principles according to technological principles. Now, a key goal of this discipline is to improve the efficacy and sustainability of agricultural practices. Now, when it comes to the history of agricultural engineering, the first use of agricultural engineering was the introduction of irrigation in large-scale agriculture. Now, the practice would not expand until the Industrial Revolution. So with the rise of tractors and machines in the Industrial Revolution, a new age of agricultural engineering began. Now, over the course of the Industrial Revolution, mechanical harvesters and planters would replace the field hands in most of the food and cash crop industries. Now, in the 20th century, with the rise in reliable engines in airplanes, crop dusters were implemented to disperse pesticides. Now, the introduction of these engineering concepts into the field of agriculture allowed for an enormous boost in the productivity of crops, dubbed a second agricultural revolution. Now, in the late 20th century, you've probably heard of this term GMO. GMO is a genetically modified food. Now, in the late 20th century, GMOs were created, giving another large boost to crop yields and resistance to pests. Now, just like any other branch of engineering, and I'm a civil engineer, and within civil engineering, there's sub-branches. Well, the same occurs with the discipline of agricultural engineering. Now, within agricultural engineering, there's the design of agricultural machinery, equipment, and agricultural structures. There's also internal combustible engines as applied to agricultural machinery. There's also agricultural resource management, and that includes land use and water use. There's water management, conservation, storage for crop irrigation, and livestock production. There's also surveying and land profiling, climatology and atmospheric science, soil management, conservation, including erosion and erosion control. There's seeding, tillage, harvesting, and processing of crops, livestock production, that includes fish, poultry, and dairy animals. There's also waste management, including animal waste, agricultural residues, and fertilizer runoff, food engineering, and the processing of agricultural products. There's also basic principles of circuit analysis as applied to electrical motors, because again, you utilize machinery when it comes to farming. There's physical and chemical properties of materials used in or produced by agricultural production. There's bioresources engineering, which uses machines on the molecular level to help the environment. So, crop processing and storage, which deals with post harvest handling of crops. That's also part of agricultural engineering. That's the design of experience, or let me make a correction, but you need experience to be a good agricultural engineer. But when it comes to crop processing and storage, well, you need the design of experiences, the design of experiments. Now, let me go back and sum this up. You need experience to be a good engineer, period, particularly if you are in any engineering discipline. But you need to know how to design experiments. Now, when it comes to agriculture includes crop processing and storage, which deals with post-harvesting handling of crops. So within that area, you need a design of experiments related to crop and animal production. Now, again, agricultural engineers may perform tasks such as planning, supervising, and managing the building of dairy effluent schemes, irrigation, drainage, flood water control systems, performing environmental impact assessments, agricultural product processing, and interpretation of research results, and implement relevant practices. Now, a large percentage of agricultural engineers work in the academia or for government agencies such as the United States Department of Agriculture or state agricultural extension services. Some are consultants employed by private engineering firms. Others work in industry for manufacturers or agricultural machinery, equipment, processing technology, and structures for housing livestock and storing crops. Agricultural engineers work in production, sales, management, research and development, or applied science. Now, in the UK, the term agricultural engineer is often used to describe a person that repairs or modifies agricultural equipment. Now, there are, with any other branch, I'm a civil engineer, so some of what I utilize comes from the ASCE, the American Society of Civil Engineers. Well, the ASABE also has standards. Now, the ASABE, that's the American Society of Agricultural Engineers, now known as the American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers. That organization was founded in 1907, and it is a leading organization in the agricultural engineering field. Now, the ASABE provides safety and regulatory standards for the agricultural industry. Now, these standards and regulations are developed on the international scale, and they include topics on fertilizers, soil conditions, fisheries, biofuels, biogas, feed machinery, tractors, and machinery. Now, again, if you're really interested in this field, I know two universities right off the top of my head. Number one, I live here in the state of Indiana. So the granddaddy of them all is Purdue University. There's another one if you are from the state of Maryland, and that's the University of Maryland, College Park. Both are excellent schools. Now, I will give you this warning. If you're going to go into any engineering field, you must be good in math. Start off with basic algebra, and then you have to take calculus and differential equations. Then you go to physics, calculus-based physics, calculus-based statistics. But at the end of the day, when it comes to any branch of engineering, you have to be very good with math. You have to be a critical thinker. But again, if you're interested in agricultural engineering, go check with your colleges near you. It's a good field. Again, it's a makeup of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, and food science. It's known as an interdisciplinary field. And remember something, when it comes to any engineering, engineering is made up of chemistry, physics, and biology, with the math that gives you the problem solving capabilities from a theoretical point of view or a theoretical sense. But at the end of the day, agricultural engineering is a discipline, and it's one in demand. And that concludes this video on agricultural engineering. If you want to see me make more of these videos, please comment, share, and subscribe. As always, when I do any video content, I will post it on my Facebook and Twitter pages. These videos are very positive, and what I do here on the Mind of STEM channel, I give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math, because a lot of your good jobs come from STEM. And again, thank you for listening. That concludes this video on the overview of agricultural engineering. Till next time, I want you to have a wonderful and blessed evening. My name is Leon Jones. God bless you. And keep up with STEM. Because here on the Mind of STEM, I'm going to continue to give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Just want to say God bless you and good night.